All right, it's Lori Jacobwith again with another frequently asked question. This one's about events today. So Amy, do you want to quick introduce yourself to folks?
Yes, thank you. Thanks, Lori. My name is Amy Ludwig. I'm the Executive Director of MOSTe, Motivating Our Students Through Experience in Los Angeles.
Nice. Well, thanks for being with me. The time zone is a little different.
Right?
You had attended the webinar on fear and uncertainty and decided we are going to just jump in and do it and hold a virtual fundraising event. Is that true?
That's right. And what I have found is there have been clearly a lot of organizations are in this situation right now. And my question set has been developing, and I'm finding that the webinars are developing as well. At first it was kind of like, just do it and have a bowl-a-thon. And now everybody's like, okay, wait a second, we need to think about what tech platform are we using and how do we plan the event itself, and so everything's getting much more nuts and bolts right now.
Well, so what I'll do before we dive into your list of questions, I just about 15 minutes ago delivered for a national organization a webinar update on how they're handling COVID issues. And so I talked about virtual events because I got to participate in one yesterday. Okay. And let me just share my slides. So hold on. And while I'm pulling them up, one of the things that I'll say is, you sort of nailed it on the head. Everything is about change. Yesterday is not the same as today, and it's not going to be. So I talked a little bit about change agents aren't the most liked people. We're kind of not, and I am one as just who I am in my family, and I realized it's not that people don't like me. They don't like the questions I'm asking, like, when are we going to rehearse that? How many times will we go through the speeches to make sure they're interesting? What is the platform? What's our backup plan? And some of that change agent stuff that I think you are too, Amy, is to just know that keep your vision, keep your goals present, have some patience with folks, but be persistent in having this be the quality that it has to be. What we're creating through using technology right now is to have a disruptive innovation. So putting an event online isn't something that a lot of people have done. Fortunately, I had folks do an informational experience online yesterday. So I'm going to share a little bit about what I saw. But what we're doing is we're taking risks, being a forward thinker, choosing new donor engagement strategies before you ask them for money. So even getting them ready for that day that you're going to ask them for money. And then if you're, especially right now, choosing new ways to provide your core programs and services, you got to tell us that. And maybe you're going to use technology to do that. So yesterday, there were about 50 folks from Hawaii to Minneapolis online for what they called their Hope Begins Here virtual experience. And this is Volunteers of America in North Louisiana. They had board members, staff, volunteers. They had a principal from a school who spoke. We were welcomed by a volunteer. They did not do all of the practicing that maybe you might want to, but it was their first run through and it was awesome. They had things queued up and pictures ready for us to see. They did tell stories. They made sure that we understood what it was like to be a child in a classroom. And now, right now, with no classrooms happening, the principal talked about how difficult it is and what challenges she's seeing. We also heard their money story. So we got to hear about where they at today and where do they have to be by June 30th. No kidding. So invite everyone, but make sure you have a platform that allows that. So we'll talk through platforms when we come off slides here in a minute. Do make it interactive. So it doesn't have to be lots of interaction, but if you're using Zoom, you can use a poll. If you're using other platforms, you can simply have people use the raise hand feature. Ask a question like, how would you describe us? What one word would you use to describe us? Have them be in your mission and really feeling that already. Invite as many people to be on camera as possible. Now, lots of folks won't for the reasons, like you and I were talking before we jumped on. We didn't comb our hair yet. We didn't put the right outfit up, whatever it is. But have as many people be on camera as you can. Use lots and lots of you and your language, which I know you already do. You have to share your money story. Here's what it took when we started the year to do our work. And here's what we think it's going to take now. And the truth is, folks, we're not sure where we're going to end up at the end of the calendar year. But this quarter, this April, May, June, this is what it looks like. And remember, here's who we help, here's what we do, here's your impact. Make sure you're going off screen if you're managing slides and queuing things up. So you want to have a couple of people doing things. One person can watch the comments. One person can have their screen ready to manage the slides. Do at least 2 or 3 run-throughs. Have a plan B for if your CEO can't talk, if that's you. If you can't talk that day because you got laryngitis, who's going to deliver your remarks? Right. Have at least one volunteer speak, and I like it if it's a board member, but it doesn't have to be. And then for sure, 3 stories. The thing that wasn't done yesterday that I would love to have you do is have a testimonial, 2 minutes or less, 1 student, but coach them through the process. So they've practiced and practiced. And then a follow-up survey, or call everyone if you can, just to make sure we're connecting. If you're going to be giving during this process, you want to have some sort of way, a thermometer or some sort of visual that we get excited to watch online as it's growing.